Okay, relevant boxing talk to talk all things boxing relevant and to talk things relevant to boxing. Here we go. How does Errol Spence win this rematch? Like how? Everywhere I turn is a person saying that he can't win. Everybody knows, myself included, that this is a tough rematch for this man. It's a rocky moment for my champ. It is truly a rocky moment. He has he's in a real prime phase to cement his legacy unlike any other way. I mean, nobody's counting him in on this except for his band of faithfuls, myself included in that. I think he can, you know. I think it'll be difficult, yes, but this is boxing. This is why we're fans of the game, of this blood sport, to see some impressive shit. And if anybody can do something impressive is Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Okay, I'm not doubting him in the rematch at all, albeit he has some dire straits ahead. Man, oh man, what a year of boxing we are having. I got a football analogy. It's very loose analogy. Just work with me. In the case of a shutdown corner and a A1 wide receiver, where Errol Spence is the cornerback and Terrence Crawford is the wide receiver. So in this league, NFL, big time college, you have this team which features this defensive back, this cornerback who is a just shut down corner. He every opposing team's best receiver puts up their worst performance numbers. I mean, he shuts you down at the line, he covers well, and he tackles, and he gets picks. Just an absolute stud of a defensive back, right? And they have the tougher schedule. So you're seeing this defensive back oppose some pretty standout receivers. But none of these receivers are like the star receiver on this team that they'll see down the line in some weeks. They'll see him a few weeks down the line. They're kind of like a second half of the season team, where that team had the easier schedule. But however, that receiver had that day on the calendar circle when they will face this shutdown corner. And so while this shutdown corner doing his thing, his moxie is up, and leaving these future Hall of Fame receivers looking like, just looking like they're just having their worst times out. And enjoying that, you got Bud on the other hand, who's studying this guy, studying how he checks at the line, study how he covers, study how he tackles, just studying his game, as he prepares for that showdown. So the showdown comes, and the shutdown corner had nothing on this guy. He's getting beat up and down the field. He can't check him on the line. He's catching short. He's catching long. He's getting touchdowns. He's just cooking them, and it leads to that defender's team losing the game. Just, him and the quarterback was just in sync. They already, been working on their routes for weeks, I feel like that analogy is is similar to this Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence kind of rivalry, right? Errol Spence, who beat the man who had the IBF, beat the man who had the WBC, and beat the man who had the WBA convincingly. Terrence Crawford had a WBO, and he's just defending it. You know, nothing wrong with that. But that whole time, he was just perfecting not only his craft, he was preparing his craft for when he was going to face Errol Spence, and as we now know, it worked out well in his favor, his preparation. So here we are. Let's just say that same team, they meet in the playoffs. You know, that's what the rematch is. We'll just kind of say that they meet two times in a short order. You know, nothing has changed except for the fact that one dominated the other in route to a victory, right? So, what does that defender do? What does that cornerback do? What adjustments does he make in order to ensure that his team gets to win, right? So, what does Errol Spence do? The simplest way to say it, you know, is against, you know, just oh my goodness, going up against Terrence Crawford in his rematch. Is really boxing principles has to be underscored, and with the goal of one, Errol getting in his rhythm immediately, if anything, right? While number two, preventing Bud from establishing his own rhythm. So how does Errol get into his rhythm? Well, the same thing that Errol has been doing in prior fights, but to do that in this fight, and that's to throw 100 punches per round, with the jab being 99 of them punches. The jab is the key. I don't care who you are. The victor goes to the man who jabs. From a boxing standpoint, yeah, sure, you can get touched and knocked out, but we're not talking about that. Just talking about boxing. The jab gotta be pumping. It has to be pumping with the goal of disrupting the rhythm of Terrence Bud Crawford's. The jab's got to be touching everything. The forearms, the guard, the shoulder, double jab, triple jab, jab your way in, jab your way out. The jab has to be firing on all cylinders, and so in order for Bud to not gain a rhythm. In the first fight, after he knocked him down in the second round, I mean, he was doing the freaking Omaha two-step in round 3. That was definitely anxious to see in real time how in rhythm he was as soon as he was, sooner than any of his other fights where it seemed like it would take 5 rounds, 6 rounds. I mean, he really found it by round 2, to be real with you, but it was not even a question that he had it in round 3. Errol Spence has to use his jab very Larry Holmes style, very Larry Holmes-esque. He got to have, you know, some of those has to be sat on. Some of those got to be flickers. In fact, no, most of those have to be flickers. Terrence Crawford said that he knew he needed to have a well-seated jab for Errol Spence in order to get his respect. I think Errol Spence has to actually lighten up on his jab, just to make sure that he's touching him. You know, he and with a sufficient jab, he will uh, uh, um, he'll be able to establish his rhythm. He'll be able to establish his rhythm and start to get his power left hand in there. But 100 punches per round. The jab has got to be 99 of those punches, and it gets and make sure that Terrence Crawford does not establish his rhythm of his own. It just has to be. So he's going to need his feet. He's going to need his feet in order to do that. Choppy steps, to get in and get out and get on to the next round. I definitely don't think he should go trying to knock his block off. I understand that he wants to. I definitely could understand that, but the right now, just secure the win, and you can secure the win by outboxing him. Yes, Errol Spence can outbox Terrence Bud Crawford. He can, but he's going to need the jab to do that. He definitely can. I mean, this whole the wizardry of Terrence Crawford, he's clearly good. Viper-like quickness, cunning, changes his rhythm. He uses his legs to escape and encroach, but he's still there to be hit. With all that being said, he's still there to be hit. Why not just touch him with the jab, touch him up, get in there, triple jab your way in, triple jab your way out, on to the next round, right? So, yeah, let's see. Let me make sure I got everything I wanted to say. Yeah, that's it right now. Please take this as entertainment. I know that Errol Spence is doing what he has to do right now to secure this win. So please know that this is purely entertainment. And we'll see how this thing goes. Comment in the bottom if you agree, disagree. You want to add to it, write it in the comment section. Relevant Boston Talk. Peace.